We're live. This is the Beef State Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Beef State Podcast. This is our very first episode, and we have a couple of the producers from the American Rancher Alliance on here with me that have been a very intricate part in building this cooperative. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of talk and just a regular talking podcast and not really an interview or anything like that, but just talking like we do on the daily. Hey guys.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
All right. So you guys had are you guys done calving?
Yes.
You're done calving?
Yes.
I have
Both
four
of you?
left. No,
Oh, you
I
got
have four left. Yep. I got 2 heifers and 2
We
old
just
cows
started.
left.
All right. Yeah, we just started.
Well, you guys just had
And I'm
snow
not.
too. We haven't.
Yeah, that's a
That's
little
true.
different animal up there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. All of our neighbors, they calve like super early, and like some of them in February, and I'm like, y'all are nuts. But yeah. So most people are done around here calving, and they're already starting
Do
to put
they
their
calve
boards out.
outside?
Yeah. It's crazy. I had the
Outdoors
one
in
year we
Wyoming.
calved. Yeah, we calved 1 year early like that, and we had a calf that lost his little tops of his ears. You know, they froze off, and it's like, I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Ever.
We see that on occasion now as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, poor little dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nope.
Never seen it. I don't know. I've never had
I
that
know.
problem.
You're lucky.
Lost a tail one time when it
You
got
said it's gonna be
super cold on the
37
calf.
degrees down in Tennessee tomorrow.
I think Brooks is froze.
There he is. It's gonna be 37 tomorrow in Tennessee.
It is, yeah. Yeah, last cold snap, knock on something hard.
What's it been like? 70s and
It has here lately. We finally got a little bit of moisture last week, which helped out quite a bit, but it's been dry and it's been cool.
I keep hearing it's dry everywhere. We've had more moisture this year than like ever. It's crazy, and everybody's like, it's a drought, and I was like, I don't know. I guess there's a rain cloud just wants to sit over the top of our ranch because we've had a ton.
It could be worse though. You're always 6 weeks away from a drought.
Yeah,
That's right.
true.
We've had pretty good
I know, we
moisture
gotta
in
get-
eastern Oklahoma, though.
In Oklahoma,
It's green.
Nebraska's
I
getting
think Yeah, the eastern part.
Really
The
dry.
western part, I think, still in the drought. But I live in the eastern part, and it's pretty dadgum green here. It's been green here since, Lord, off in March. We've had, our fruit
I
trees
know
came
you were
out.
sending me pictures.
Yeah. Our trees are full blown leaves right now. I mean, it looks like middle of the summer here now. So I think it's a little cool today. It's probably
That's
in the
great.
70s. Nah, that's the right weather. Crazy is what y'all do.
Yeah, I'm ready to get moved down where it's warm. I'm tired of freezing.
Yeah. Well,
You may change your mind come July.
That's what I keep hearing.
August
I don't
1st.
know.
August 1st. That's always what that separates the men from the boys in the South. Is a hay field in August.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
my
true.
coach has always told me.
Yeah. We got to start putting in the sorghum here soon. Got to wait for it to stop freezing. So we do it usually around May 15th. And so we got to put that in for winter cover. And then we bale some of it, which I don't see baling any of that sorghum down in the South because I don't think I'd ever get it dry enough. I mean, I could do it as like silage or something, but
Yeah.
definitely not baling it.
Yeah, we did
Wow.
some Sudex one year, and it was we tried to bale it twice, and we thought, man, this is crazy. And so about every 2 weeks, we'd have to turn that cows in on it because it was growing like kudzu.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff is crazy. It grows fast.
Well, everybody that I've ever encountered that had it, they used it for silage, like you said before. A lot of these calves that are, well, I don't say a lot, but in my experience, I guess with it was ranchers that would use it to feed cattle that were grazing wheat. They had cattle turned out on wheat, and it put a little extra moisture inside the cow, I guess, and help them ruminate a little better. But man, I mean, they turned the crank on it. I can tell you that. If I could do it, that's what I would do. Sorghum silage and wheat. That's the, Sudex silage and wheat. Either one, it's good stuff when you put it together like that.
What's your corn and grain prices down there right now?
Well, I don't buy corn in bulk, but I mean, it just depends on what kind of, if you buy, if you're buying it by the truckload or if you're buying it by the sack, I guess. But I know sack corn's about $8 or $10, but I think you can get it, probably $5.50 a bushel right now if you buy it by the truckload. But maybe $6. I hadn't looked at the board this week to find out what it is, what you can get it locked in at on the forward contract.
Yeah, our feed prices have gone up.
It still starts with a 4 around here.
Does it?
With a 4? Like for a ton? Like 400 a ton?
For a bushel.
For a bushel.
Hey, $4 something a bushel. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's 470, something like that.
Oh, okay.
You might catch a little break with basis and stuff, but right now about 4s. Something that starts with a 4 is about all you're going to.
Yeah.
I know we've gone up about $50.
Pardon?
I say I know we've gone up about $50 for a ton sack that we buy, so it's gone up here quite a bit.
It ain't too bad here. It's still, it depends on where you're at in Oklahoma, but comparative to the board, you're going to be whatever your freight is here. That's kind of where you're going to be at with corn. There's a lot of it in the Red River Valley and the Canadian River Valleys, and there's quite a few corn farmers down in Texas. You can get about any.
I'm interested in trying. Yeah, I'm interested in trying that cottonseed down there because that's nothing I've ever used as a feed stuff. I'm interested in using it. I've heard good things about it.
We feed a lot of it. It's we can source it local. We can buy it by the truckload or go get it on a trailer, whatever. And if you're going to feed it to supplement your cows a little bit in the wintertime, probably need to top dress it a little bit with something sweet. But we use quite a bit of it in our feed as well. It's a huge amount of nutrition. You want to kind of steer clear of a whole bunch of it to bulls just because of some glossy pole toxicity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we're going to do the citrus feed down there, but I need something to mix with it. So I was thinking cottonseed, and I don't know. I really need to talk with a nutritionist to figure out exactly to make sure that I've got them exactly where they need to be.
Yeah,
Man,
you probably need the whole. Cottonseed hulls would probably be good for you with a little cottonseed mixed in. Cottonseed's pretty high in protein. I don't know how acid that, your oranges and citrus and stuff like that's going to be on them, but you'd sure be tempting acidosis with that, I think, wouldn't you? If you're feeding straight cottonseed.
Well, the citrus has it's second only to corn in energy. So I mean, I guess it's basically just like giving them corn for the most part, just a little different.
Yeah, same thing. You had the same problem with corn as acidosis. That's why they feed all them. Yeah, that's why you end up feeding. People feed the Bovatec and Rumensin on because they're going to cram them full of that stuff, and that's one of the things we're trying to stay away from is putting that stuff in them. Those, I guess right now the name escapes me. What ionophores is what they're called, but they balance out the rumen. Yeah, but it's for acidosis, and that's why the only concern I'd have with feeding open up with cottonseed and oranges together or citrus together. Which I'm not a vet. I'm not even a nutrition. I just been around the block a few times. You can always smell a cottonseed calf when you put him on the truck, though. Like you stick a load of them suckers on, and that truck, they're just a different smell. Same thing with soybean meal. When you get them crammed full of that stuff, and you can tell they're on the verge of acidosis, you can just smell it. They just have that I'm about to get sick smell. And so, that's one of the things we always have to guard against. Loading up loads of cattle that have been backgrounded.
We don't use any ionophores either. And so our ration's pretty low on corn.
So what's the deal with the ionophores? So why is that part of a natural program? Exactly.
It's not. It's banned by natural programs. You can't use them.
That's what I meant. Yeah, like what's it?
Because
banned.
In reality, they are a form of antibiotics. And so
okay, that makes sense then.
So that's why they're precluded from any feeds that are for natural calves.
It changes the biology of the.
Yeah, is Rumensin an ionophore, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And then what? So we use Vitafirm, and that's not, right? That's different.
You'd have to look on your tag. That'd just be a mineral, and I'm sure they have some of those that have ionophores in them, but you'd have to look on your tag.
Yeah, because we had asked the lady that the rep we had purchased from, and she said that it didn't have any of that in it. So I'm hoping that's the case because we don't like to
Well,
feed
they can't
anything
claim
like
that it
that.
doesn't if it does. It's a big deal. You can't
Yeah.
claim that it doesn't have it in it if it does have it in it. The thing with the Vitafirm and things, I'm not familiar with Vitafirm per se, but I know that it's a fermented product, and that helps the gut biology too of a cow. That's basically what the gut is for. If it's like charcoal starting a fire, really, in my opinion. If you have a fermented product that's helping them digest to start out with, the same way charcoal helps you start a fire in your grill. It just aids in
Yeah,
the
it said it was
digestion.
prebiotics and probiotics.
Yeah, fires the bugs up. That's what biology of the gut. So rumensin, I think,
That's right.
actually, I'm not sure what it does, but it changes something in the bugs that's in their gut. It's not. I don't think it's a natural product, and that's why they don't go with natural. They don't fit in natural programs. It's a man-made product, chemical.
But it does allow cattle to be able to take on a high corn ration a little bit easier and not get
Yeah.
Right.
acidosis and blah.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues with acidosis. And we feed out about 30 pounds per head per day. And it's worked great for us. So,
You feed 30 pounds of corn?
well, we were feeding 30 pounds of corn, but then we switched up the ration and now it's corn, a DDG, and then COB mix. So there was whole and cracked and so now it's kind of a mixture of everything. They
Yeah.
get tired of one thing, so you got to switch them over. Otherwise, they're just like, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah,
Some fancy cows.
I guess, just like people. I mean, you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to sit there and eat
Yeah.
cornflakes every day. I guess
That's what the fancy
Gotta
cows
mix
like.
it up.
They get to switch it up, man. Do you massage them and feed them beer and stuff too, like they do in Japan? My cows don't know what good living like that is. They go out there and they bite down on something on the ground and chew it, and it may be a rock every once in a while in there. So,
Mine aren't turning their nose at much either.
yeah,
No, mine are picky. They're picky.
I've
JC
seen days here in Oklahoma with it. Go ahead. Sorry, Brooks.
I just said, JC's seen my cows. They'll molest you if you got a bucket in your hand.
Oh yeah.
Mine will molest you too for
So
a bucket, but they ain't above eating weeds either. My cows, they blue collar cows, man. They'll eat the weeds because they know it may be the last thing they get to eat for a minute if we get a drought. So, and we're prone to droughts right here. But,
Yeah, we are too, big time, but just not this year. I don't think it doesn't feel like drought to me, but you never know. As soon as it starts warming up here, it might just quit raining completely. So we'll see what happens. But
my gosh, the way the wind
never
blows in
know.
Wyoming, I can't see. You wouldn't have a drought all the time. Any moisture
It's
hits
been
the ground is
windy this
licked
year.
up quick by the wind, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's so windy this year. It's been crazy. We had that one wind that knocked over a whole train, 140-mile-an-hour wind. It's crazy.
Yeah, one of the state's truck drivers always told me they hated driving through east to west, from east to west is Wyoming, because that wind will catch them just coming out from behind one of them buttes or something and nearly flip them over. So, but they run them double deckers over them train trucks over there with two wagons on them, don't they? Out there in Wyoming, don't they run them big wagons with two trailers on them?
Where'd he go?
He gone.
I may have froze up there.
He gone.
No, he had somebody hauling some cows in the other day, and he said that he was going down 80 in Wyoming, and his whole trailer flipped over with two bulls in the back of it. He said the bulls were fine, but yeah, completely flipped him over. So I'm like, well, that's wonderful.
Y'all can keep all that up there if that's okay.
I don't want it either, for sure. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, aren't you going to be scared of the hurricanes? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's like a hurricane every day out here.
It's just in a straight line.
Yeah, it's just a straight line.
We were
How
leaving.
long did that? How long have you been sick for? How long has it lasted?
Today be a week, so I'm wearing it down.
That's what the kids' school said. They were like, it lasts a good 4 or 5 days. And I'm like, boy, this is their second day. But man, that stuff's rough. I'm guessing it's just a virus, right?
Yeah. Not much you can do but wear it out.
Yeah. That's what I figured. And I'm
Speaking of wind, we were in Denver one year at the National Western Stock Show and come back, and we were going to go to Fort Worth, so we laid over in Kansas for a few days. the wind, I just looked at my buddies and I was like, how do these people ever hear anything that's going on? It is so roaring loud.
It's so loud.
I was like, man, that has got to be debilitating. I'd have to be medicated.
Yeah, it does too. It's like in your ears all the time. And well, they got those, the tall mountains and the big valleys through there. That's probably gets pretty compressed with wind.
Hey,
I think JC's coming back.
I'm back.
He's
I
trying.
think I'm
There we
back.
are. Wait, I think your mic's on. I can't unmute him. I can't unmute you. Goodness. So I got a bunch of fat cattle right now and they're ready to go. Trying to get the rest of this all situated with the insurances and the banks and all of those things so we can get rolling here. We're so close. So very excited to get moving, but I've got a ton of fat cattle that are ready. I feel like I'm just wasting feed throwing it into them right now because it's just
well,
like they're as fat as they're going to get.
yeah, they become wasty at some point. I ended up doing some freezer beef this week simply for that. They just get to where they're wasty, and at some point I need to get paid a little bit.
Yeah.
So I went and did a little bit of freezer beef to help pay the next feed bill.
Yeah. I'm taking 3 on Wednesday.
We're
And
sitting on 20 something that's within a month of being done.
yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I don't think it's going to take us much longer. So hopefully this week I'll get some traction on a lot of this. So
Good.
just
Good.
waiting on a lot of paperwork and contracts. Like it's like hurry up and wait.
Our bigger numbers would be ready this fall, which I think will fit fairly well with what's going on.
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome. So what do you have to do for a natural program or not do exactly?
Well, there's different types of natural program. The one we're in is called GAP, which is Global Animal Partnership, and it has a lot to do with animal welfare. And so you castrate at a very early age, you wean after a certain age. They need to stay on pasture 75% of their life, and all those type things that we do anyway. But it also certifies that I am natural. And so in the natural deal, you can't use lutalize. So you can't give a shot to your heifers. But you can't use any antibiotics, whether they be prophylactic, whether they be for treatment, whether they be for a feed additive. And you obviously can't use any implants as well. But we do treat those that are sick, but that kicks them out of the program. So in other words, I'd have to sell them, at a local barn or just as conventional cattle.
Yeah. If you can't give them luteolase, so you can't do AI or embryos or anything like that on the females?
Well, no, this is only for cattle that are going to be sold for beef
For food. Okay.
as gap calves. So one of the things I do, like if I have to treat a heifer, then I'm going to look at her a little different. If she's pretty decent, I may keep her as a replacement.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I just need to sell her as a commodity at the sale barn. Now steers, you just got to take them to town or sell them as freezer beef.
What's the age on weaning?
The step that I'm at, which is step 4, they've got to be 6 months or older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ours are older. Ours would definitely fit that program. Like everything you said, we that's what we do. I've never tried to go get any of the certifications to match it just because, like the organic certification, it's insane. It's insanely expensive and it's, it takes like 3 years to get it. And it's like, my goodness.
This is something that's fairly easy. It's a lot of things, like you said, stuff we already do anyway. And so why not have a piece of paper to throw out there when I sell natural calves instead of having to sign an affidavit where they just have to take my word for it.
That's true.
So that's what we've done. This is, I think, our 3rd or 4th go round with it.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that certification program, which we have our own certification programs now too. So
right.
I don't know if it would matter one way or the other because it's built out the same way, right? So we have the verified program and then we have the certified program. So the certified program within the ARA is natural beef, all naturally raised. And then the verified program is traditionally conventional, or not really traditionally, but conventionally raised beef. And but it is tested for residues for hormones, antibiotics, and glyphosate is one that we're working on, which is kind of neat.
Uh-huh.
And I was really surprised that Zach had said, like, with his processing facility and all those things, that he had tested quite a bit of beef and there hasn't been any glyphosate that's actually showed up in anything, which is kind of interesting with it being so, it's just, it's on everything
Yeah.
now. You would think it would show up, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
But better to be safe than sorry. I don't want any more glyphosate than we're already consuming
Yeah. Very true.
already.
Right now, you drive up and down the road and you see all these wheat fields that have been killed off, getting ready to go in and drill some beans. And you think, man, there's a lot of glyphosate used in this world.
And I know, well, growing up in Illinois and in all those farm areas, and now a lot of those guys, those older farmers, some of them are gone now, but some of the ones that are even left now, they have Parkinson's and all kinds of stuff. And it's just like everybody's like, oh, that's what it's from, but they don't ever get, I guess, compensated for that from the chemical companies, which
Yeah.
we'll see if that ever happens. I don't know if they'll ever pass that or not. We'll see. I would say no.
I know how I know what I think go.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's gonna not go in the favor of the farmer.
We can now. We can hear you. JC is back with the living now. He's talking with us. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, it says that if you have headphones, it works better. That's why I was wondering because it kinda makes that sound on my side too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, and there's a lot of people that just aren't educated on those things. So, you never see that part. You only see the, "Oh, it's glyphosate, it's out there. Oh my gosh, it's in everything." So that's all you see. You don't see, there's a half-life there, you know so by the time they graze it, and I mean, with it being tested, you automatically see right then and there that it's not there. It's not in the meat. Absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah. Agreed.
No, they should. Well, I keep hearing that the Prime Act is like the parts of it are in the Farm Bill, or it's kind of mixed in there, and where they're going to do like a testing of the Prime Act. It confuses me because if, there's already 29 states that can use state inspected facilities and sell to the producer or sell to consumers in that area. So they're already testing it. They don't need to test it anymore. You know, I don't, I don't know. There's just so many silly little things that are being put in all these bills and, ways around things so they don't have to do anything fully, you know.
Yeah.
See, yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it is. What are they calling it? It was like a trial run for the Prime Act, but they're only allowing like five facilities per state to be able to process. I think that's what it was. Yeah, approximately 5. Which the Farm Bill doesn't help any of us anyway. That's strictly big ag
Yeah.
more so than anything. Yeah. Well, the Prime Act will help a little bit. The Farm Bill's just more for big ag, and they're putting the Prime Act in with the Farm Bill and then dumbing it down to a testing of the Prime Act, and yeah, it's not going to be for the smaller producer. It's just going to be for big ag, and that's keep the big packers and making their money. It's all the lobbying.
That's right.
Yeah.
When
You probably would.
when corn, when there's 4 ears out of every 10 in this country go to ethanol, that
Dang.
just doesn't make sense.
No. No.
And when you
Uh-huh.
look at those statistics of how many cents of each beef dollar go to actual producers and how much goes to the other side of the equation, which is putting it out there and other middlemen, like 30 cents nowadays goes to us, 60 cents to the rest of the process. And it was just the opposite in 1980. Something ain't right.
Yeah. They're all working against us. They all got bought and paid for.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited to get this off the ground. Finally, we are so close. Just finishing up all the rest of this paperwork and contracts and yep. And it's like just hurry up and wait.
The most interesting part of it to me is, I mean, since the 19 whatever, 50s or 60s, when the feedlot industry really took off, we as ranchers have lost a view of what's over the mountain. You know, with the packer being that mountain, we don't know what's happening on the other side. And so what ARA gives us an opportunity to do is put a tunnel through that and see what's on the other side of that mountain, and have a little bit of view of where our product goes, and have the consumer view us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everything is, the producer's fault when it's not though, too. It's like they always blame the wrong people. And it's just they're not seeing, the direction backwards either, so everybody's kind of there's got to be a tunnel where people can see each other
Yeah,
through this mess.
agreed. And what prevents that is that, big conglomerate of big corporate ag.
Hmm.
Otherwise, we would call them packers, the big
Yeah.
four packers.
I have so many people. Yeah, and that's a
Yeah.
huge issue. My God.
Well, I don't follow politics a whole lot, but I read some stuff the other day that just made me want to shake my head, uh, as far as some of that ownership and what it does in DC.
I saw a post, what was it? A couple days ago. And there's a farmer's market out in Indiana. And I don't know how true this post is. Obviously, it's on social media, but they were saying that the farmer's market people were getting fined if they were selling their product less than the BlackRock companies, which I don't know how that they would, police that in a way. But apparently, yeah, they're getting a bunch of fines. And I don't know. I need to dig into it a little more to, make sure that it's something that's true. But it sounds about right with everything going on. It's
You know, if you look,
yeah. You're outside of Nashville, right?
yeah, I'm almost down to the Alabama line.
Oh, okay. So you're a couple hours from there then.
Yeah. Well, I'm about an hour or so from Nashville. Yeah.
About an hour from Nashville.
About an hour or so from Huntsville.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good spot. You're in a good place. It's
Yeah.
pretty
It is.
for
It
sure.
is. It is rural, and I appreciate it.
Mm.
You can, but we're weaning 154 right now, and so when we end this, I will be back to feeding them. They're like me. When they're stressed, they eat, and so right now I'm feeding them.
You're feeding them. Yeah, I feel you there. I got to go out and check calves here in a second because we've got two that were due yesterday and nothing yet.
Yeah.
And there are ones that we had shipped here recently because they're going to be embryo cows and in the next couple months here. So But yeah, they're due. They're just, nothing's happened.
Yeah, man, when those things, when they're due, when the embryo babies are due, you got to be out there because there's a lot of money sunk up with them before they ever take the first breath.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. You back again? You keep
I'm right.
losing signal.
He's back, but he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted
I'm
again.
muted.
I know we have some really good guests coming on here. I'll have them on this week and next week. And then I'll edit them and post them out on the day so we can put them out. But we have a gentleman that's running for governor of Florida since DeSantis isn't running again. And he's on top of the polls right now. And I don't know a whole ton about him yet. But it'll be a good conversation. I know he's had conversations with the Florida Cattlemen's Association, and he always has a cowboy hat on. I don't know if he's a rancher or what, and then we've got a farmer who is running for lieutenant governor of California. And with all of that corruption craziness, that ought to be an interesting conversation because I know he's against that. He's actually a Republican Party versus Democrat Party. Yeah, and we've got AJ is coming on here, and then I have a Hollywood filmmaker friend. He got real sick, and then he used beef to heal himself, and yeah, he's done really, really well. So the stories are neat.
Mhm.
We have some cool stories coming on for sure.
deal.
I think it'll be great.
There's a local gentleman that is running for Congress, and he was our vet back in the day. So I have laid in the mud with him at 2 a.m. and all that, and he'd be a good one to be on here. They farm the same land for over 200 years. And
Wow.
if you want me to send him your I will send you his contact if you want it. Good guy.
My water pump turned on. I can't hear.
I heard something pick up in the background.
Yeah. Dang.
I thought it was
water
just
pump.
I thought it was
I'm
just
down in
JC.
the cellar.
JC has such a good signal.
There it goes. It stopped. That thing's so dang loud. I go through more water pumps here than anything because that artesian airlocks. And then, yeah, it's always bad. I think he's freezing again.
Yeah.
There he goes again.
He
Oh, well, it's fine. Well, I guess we'll wrap up for today. And then it's a good first podcast. You just get to talk and.
Well, it's good to talk to you anytime, even if it's recorded.
Absolutely. I'm going to go out and check calves.
I believe I'll go feed a few myself.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later, Brooks.
I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.